it was really bad how it looks. And he said, you can't train your eyeball to be stronger. It is what it is. There's protection here and here, but he obviously got no protection because the fingers were straight in. The fight should have been stopped. He couldn't see. It was a foul. He couldn't see. Then you can't fight. You know, if he'd have got knocked out with a head kick next, then it would have been worse. I don't know. And then he said, sometimes when your eyes here like that, it can become displaced and stay there. And they did a few tests on that, and they said it doesn't seem like that. And his vision on the eye that's the best eye.
The MMA community is beginning to lose patience with the UFC, and at the center of the storm is Tom Aspinall. After suffering that unfortunate eye injury at UFC 321, the heavyweight contender has reportedly reached his breaking point. Sources say Aspinall is deeply frustrated with how the promotion has managed the situation, from the controversial stoppage of the fight, to the silence that followed, and even the public remarks that seemed to blame him. Many believe the trust between Tom Aspinall and the UFC has started to crumble, marking a serious shift in what was once seen as a strong partnership.
About fouling, right, is that it works. So the best thing you can do is keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage.
All that training for that? Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Gonna be okay, mate.
What the f is he doing?
The left one was really deep.
Both up.
The left one was really
Both
deep.
up. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
he got warned twice before it.
Yeah,
Twice before he got warned for it.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son, and they could lose an eye and their health, and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah.
Because it went a few minutes. It doesn't mean in any way, shape or form here that Tom Aspinall was struggling. He fucking wasn't. Cyril Gane's a good technical fighter. He was making it more difficult to catch him. But it wasn't like he was dishing out loads of punishment just because Tom had a bloody nose from a punch. Fucking Floyd Mayweather had a black eye from fucking Deji. A little bit of damage when you're in there throwing big fucking fists at each other is going to happen sometime. It does not reflect the way the fight is actually going. Little bit of blood. As long as you can breathe out that nose, you are fine. And it's this context that in the MMA and fight world, people just fucking ignore for some reason.
I saw Tom Aspinall land some nasty stuff too. I saw Tom Aspinall throw a high kick. I've never seen him throw a high kick, and it's partly because he's never had to throw a high kick. There are layers to these guys' games that we have to find only when they're fighting someone that not only deserves to be in there with them, but can extend them to a point where they have to use all of their weapons.
I mean, look, DC knows MMA. I'm not going to say he's talking total shit there, but I think if Tom Aspinall is being experimental in there and showing us things that he's not showing us before, I don't think for 1 second it's because I'm going to struggle here. I need to throw a high kick. I've never done that before. I don't think that's in his mind at all. He's so comfortable in there. He is showing more of his skill set that he has said he's been working on in the last year.
Since the controversial no contest result against Cyril Gane, fans have been desperate for answers. But the UFC has stayed completely quiet. There's been no real medical update, no official reassurance, not even a short message acknowledging how serious the injury turned out to be. Left without clarity, Tom Aspinall decided to speak for himself, posting photos of his severely swollen eye and describing how he's been undergoing constant treatment ever since that brutal accident. According to people close to his camp, frustration has reached a boiling point. They say Tom feels ignored and isolated by the very promotion he stood by his entire career.
And laid there on his back until John submitted him. Against the cage, Gane was sat there, not moving, not bucking, not shifting or fighting hands, sitting there like this until John locked up the guillotine on him. I'm very aware of what happened in that fight. And do I wish Tom would have finished him earlier? I do, without resistance. That was the ideal circumstance for Tom Aspinall, was to finish Cyril Gane with no resistance in the first round. I think we see an overconfident Gane in the rematch, and I think Tom smokes him. But Tom was raging. So there's an emotional aspect to this rematch now that I'm worried about, because I've been looking for Bully Tom to make an appearance for a very long time, you guys. For a very long time, I've been waiting for Bully Tom to make an appearance. And he made the appearance on, what the fuck you guys booing me for? He genuinely made an appearance in the post-fight speech. The fuck you guys booing me for? I got fucking double eye poked. A double eye poke landed. Insane. Crazy. Horrible result for the main event. Worst case scenario. All things come together. It's weird how MMA works, is it not? Dirtiest fighter on the heavyweight roster, Ciryl Gane, constantly cheats every single fight. He's a dirty little French cunt. John Jones is the nemesis of Tom Aspinall.
Que é importante?
Were you just calling him out as you felt like you wanted to get that shot, or were you calling him out because you were able to continue from the eye poke?
Yeah, it's like that. It's for the Hang to be a champion, and the Hang quick because the pocket the eye too, and the third too because the Hang is the training partner, and I do it with Hang like a knock him out in the first round. Why is it happening that me and Tom Aspinall fight? Because he say Tom Aspinall, this is the one that does the best training partner. Hang can have it. What happened? Tom Aspinall fighting with Waldo Cortez.
Tom Aspinall has stayed loyal to the UFC through countless setbacks, fighting through injuries, long layoffs, and constant uncertainty. After waiting more than a year to make his comeback, that return ended in heartbreak and controversy. Despite everything he's given, the organization has shown little sign of support or accountability. To make matters worse, Dana White's remarks after the event only fueled the frustration. During the post-fight press conference, he implied that Aspinall had simply chosen not to continue, a comment that infuriated fans and fellow fighters who clearly saw the extent of the injury.
I mean, you pretty much covered the whole Dana White saying he didn't want to continue.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so the rematch is very interesting.
It's crazy. It just adds more fuel to the fire of this fucking stupid conspiracy that Chael started, and now you have UFC brass co-signing that. It's so dumb, dude. He's your current heavyweight champ. Now the face of the UFC and one of the biggest voices in the UFC has somehow put the narrative that he's weak and that he quit. You're hurting your brand. The face of the division, the narrative now is that he's a quitter and he didn't want to fight. That's your champ. No matter DQ, no contest, that's your fucking heavyweight champ of the world. He's supposed to be the best man on the planet. Now the narrative, for people that don't know shit about MMA, is that he has quit in him. Why would you do that? He represents your fucking business. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And now some of the casuals are like, I'm not watching him ever fight again. He quits. Now it hurts your bottom line. And for what? Why not give the number one heavyweight in the world the benefit of the doubt that he couldn't fucking seek? They got poked in both fucking eyes and you just go, terrible fucking circumstances. We're going to rematch it as soon as Tom's ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it. You don't push this shitty narrative down the road and sabotage your heavyweight champ.
There's a lot of talk about, did Tom quit? Did Tom end it too early? Could he have cleared that eye? Was he unable to really see? Could he have gotten through it? This is all true. And we will only know if Tom comes out and tells us. We'll never know how bad or how severe. We'll never know that. That's only ever going to be known by Tom Aspinall. But what we can talk about is that how egregious that eye poke was. And Ciryl Gane did that. He ruined the fight by having that terrible eye poke, right? You just have to keep a closed fist. And we've seen it in so many other events. It's really starting to ruin mixed martial arts.
Do you really feel that Aspinall decided not to keep fighting on purpose because he thought that this fight wasn't going to go his way?
I know. I'm going to. I'm going to get, first and foremost, it was a foul, and Ciryl Gane's the one to blame for it. But from the optics and the way that it looked, his eye was closed when he got poked in it. He was saying he couldn't see, and he wasn't even trying to open his eye to see if he could see. Like, obviously, I have no idea. I'm not there, but you see the pictures afterwards, his eye looks fine. I've seen a whole finger go in someone's eye, and they keep fighting, right? So I don't know. But I feel like he might have taken the easier way out. It's a no contest. You got to come back. He gets paid $3 million.
Wait, he still gets paid as if they fought the full fight?
They fought.
They still make their show money and stuff.
Aspinall didn't decide to stop fighting. He had no choice. This wasn't about grit or determination. It was about protecting his eyesight, his health, and his future in the sport. After the incident, Tom's father, Andy Aspinall, publicly voiced his disappointment in how the UFC handled the entire ordeal. He pointed out the lack of medical urgency, the dismissive tone in Dana White's comments, and the troubling fact that no one from the organization even reached out while Tom was hospitalized. For the Aspinall family and many fans watching closely, the whole situation has left a bitter taste and serious questions about how fighters are treated when things go wrong.
It'd be interesting if Tom came out and said, no, I'm not going to rematch him. He's a cheater. Why would I rematch a guy that already cheated, that violated not one of my eyes, but both? I gave him his chance. He chose to cheat, and I'm going to move on. If Tom took that stance, which he's not going to do, I'm saying, but for fun, I think he'd have a lot of people that supported him. For some reason, Ciryl has come out of this thing with his hands clean. He's the one that did the poking.
This notion of intentional versus unintentional is the stupidest shit in sports. Period. You don't hear it anywhere else. Yesterday, I'm watching the New York Knicks against the Miami Heat. Knicks are down like 8 or so. They have the ball. Josh Hart gets called for an offensive foul, illegal screen. Do the referees converge and say, like, did he mean to do that or did he not mean to do that? No, a foul is a foul. Ball goes the other way. Let me ask you a question. Super Bowl, a couple years ago, all-time great game. Eagles, Chiefs, pass interference, end of the game. Do the refs converge and say, did he mean to do it? Did he mean to bump him or not? No, foul is a foul. Foul is a foul, which means a foul is a DQ. That should have been a GQ victory for Tom Aspinall. That should have been a DQ loss for Ciryl Gane. And let me be very, very clear right here and now. I don't think Ciryl did that on purpose. Why would he have done that on purpose? Why would he have tried to foul his opponent? But it doesn't matter. An illegal maneuver is an illegal maneuver. An illegal foul is an illegal foul, whether you meant to do it or not.
Oh, keeps eye poking, man. Once again, it's MMA. If somebody's coming at me and I go like this, it's my hands coming out. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction. That's one thing people don't understand. Like, it looks like the other eye got more penetration than the one he's closing right now. What the fuck? That sucks ass. He was fighting a wonderful fight. Right there, we can see that, like, that's how you can get Tom Aspinall troubles, is by always turning the angle on him, never giving the opportunity to run you over. Obviously, the accident foul was an accident, right? But the way he had his hands on Tom Aspinall's face is the correct technique to do. If you go back and watch John Jones, he's a great eye poker, but if you go back and watch the greats who do body kick, if you go back and watch my fights, when I throw body kicks or I throw leg kicks, my hands are here, they're open. So once again, you're never going to fix eye pokes in mixed martial arts.
Now everyone's asking the same question. What happens next in the heavyweight division? Right now, the picture couldn't be murkier. Tom Aspinall still holds the interim title, yet there's no confirmed return date, no timeline for recovery, and no clear plan from the UFC. Meanwhile, Jon Jones continues to drop hints about facing Alex Pereira, a matchup that could completely shift the division's spotlight. Dana White has even floated the idea of Pereira moving up to heavyweight, a move many fans feel would further sideline Aspinall and diminish everything he's worked for. Behind closed doors, Tom's camp is pushing for answers. They're calling for transparency, for a rematch with Ciryl Gane once he's fully recovered, and for the UFC to start valuing its fighters as people, not just as business assets. And that's really what this whole controversy comes down to. Tom Aspinall has always represented professionalism, humility, and respect. He's been a loyal company man from the beginning, never one to complain, never one to back out without cause. But when misfortune struck, it seemed like the organization he supported turned its back on him. The fans, however, haven't done the same. The MMA community continues to stand behind Tom, calling the UFC's handling of his injury unacceptable, and many believe Dana White owes him an apology. Whether that apology ever comes or not, one thing is certain. Tom Aspinall's trust in the UFC has been deeply shaken, and the heavyweight division now sits in a cloud of tension, politics, and uncertainty.